You know, taking a day like today to do all the maintenance I possibly can on the rig. It is probably 85 degrees, sunny, a nice little breeze. It's beautiful out there. I got the fantastic fan going, and this place is a mess. Look at this. Disaster. But everything needs to be cleaned. You know, the beginning, well, I can't say the beginning of the season, but I haven't done it this year yet. What I'll do is I'll go through, wipe down the ceiling, all the cabinets, clean everything out, empty the compartments, vacuum, shampoo the carpets, stuff like that. But before I do that, I like to have all the maintenance done, because I'm doing stuff like right now, you know, I'm filthy. So I don't want to, you know, come in and out of the rig after it's cleaned, you know, when I'm doing maintenance. So I get all my maintenance done, and then we can really work on cleaning the rig. Today, I fixed the slide. It's working great. That was in a previous video. Now I'm on to the generator. I'm going to do a full maintenance on the generator. Oil filter, oil, fuel filter, air filter. I did notice a little problem with it. I have an exhaust leak, so I think I'm going to have to pull the generator out at some point, but I'm not going to do that today. So let's go out, drain the oil, and all right, let's get out there and do this maintenance, get it done. I also plan on doing the engine oil change as well. Let's get it done. All right, guys. Here's my Onan Marquis 5500. It's a 50 amp. This is the BGM, I think it's called. BGM model. Now, one thing you can use, you have one of these filler tubes for the large jugs. Take the tube off, the clear tube, and you can use it to help, you know, drain the oil a little neater. And just put it right on the bottom, like that. You know, I'm not going to use this tube because I think this will be fit right underneath like that. The generator is hot, so you want to be careful. You always want to run it a little bit. Before you drain the oil, you want to drain the oil out warm. I'll tell you guys, it doesn't look very pretty. Looks a bit dark, and I only put about 100 hours on it. You know, I do the maintenance of the oil change after 100 hours or every year. You know, with the solar, I really don't use the generator much. So, I mean, since I've gotten it, I've only put 125 hours on it. Second oil change in 125 hours. But this time we're going to change the fuel filter, air filter. All right, while that's draining, and be careful not to bump it. See how I have the tube up there? We're going to go ahead and take the fuel filter off. Now you can see here there's just a little clasp on the bottom. Move that down. And we'll just take this hose off the bottom. Question is, why is it pressurized? Because I ran it just recently, the line was still pressurized. You got to be careful. So what I did is I just put paper towel around it and slowly worked it off and let it spray into the paper towel. Now we can remove the filter. Now for the BGM model, I'm using the 1492341 30 micron fuel filter. There are different models and different oil filters and fuel filters. In other words, there's other model Onan Marquis 5500s that are a different type. So you have to find out whether you have a BGM or if you have one of the other ones, which I'm not sure the model numbers. But I have ordered parts, and they didn't fit because I thought I was ordering for this Onan Marquis when I was really ordering for another one. A newer model, probably. And we'll just thread that on. Fuel filter comes with thread sealant on it. So it's just a matter of screwing it on. And just snug it up. Doesn't have to be jam tight. You'll check it for leaks when we run it. And now we're just sliding up that hose clamp back up. And look at that, brand new fuel filter, which is very important. These carburetors are very sensitive. But brand new fuel filter in the time it took to drain the oil. Now the air filter, which is in the side over here, I have it, I just can't find it. I'm thinking that I left it at home base there, at home. So it's gonna have to get done at another time. All right, we're good with the oil. Close the valve. Now, the oil filter on these are a pain in the ass because they're flush. I don't have the cup style wrench to take it off. I bought one, but it was the wrong size. Again, for a different Onan Marquis 5500 that used a 65 millimeter cup. I'm not quite sure what this one is, probably 95. But we do have a large pair of channel locks, and we'll just put it on there and take it off. We're going to put some paper towels and stuff down here just to absorb anything that should drip. There is a little drip tray right here. Maybe a piece of cardboard probably would have been a good idea. I might do that still. Now, when using channel locks, go in the upper, you want to go vertical like this. You got much more room. Here you don't have enough to bite in. But if you go underneath here and then just squeeze it a little bit and just dent it down, and you should be able to turn it out like that. And again, like that. And for me, this is really poor design, considering that it's horizontal. There's really no way to not get a little bit of mess here. So we're just going to pull it off real quick and hold it upright. Again, this is why I have the extra protection of this lid here. We have the new oil filter, the 122-0645. There are a lot of different filters online, Wix filters and Napa filters that you can use. But for the couple dollars, I just chose to use the Onan one. It's not that I'm against any of the other filters. I just figured why not. So we'll clean this out, make sure there's no debris in there, make sure there's none of the gasket. Here, let me show you. Make sure there's no gasket material stuck on the mating surface. And we'll put the new one on. Same thing, we'll use the pliers just to snug it up a little bit. You don't want to crush it, and you don't want to wrench tighten it. It only needs to be really hand tight. There should be a little tray here with a little hose or something to catch the oil. Now, I noticed I have an exhaust leak in the bottom, in the muffler. So I'm going to price out a new muffler system for it. Also, when I do that and I have to pull the generator out, I will change the plugs and do some of the other maintenance as well. But I probably won't do that until the end of this year or next spring. Now that I know that I need what I need, the next maintenance I'll plan on doing it. Next major maintenance, I guess. Alright, I'm using Rotella T. This is what's recommended, the 1540 weight, the 1 gallon. It only takes 3 quarts, I believe. I don't think it says on there, but 3.5 quarts says right here. It takes 3.5 quarts. So what I have here is on the back side, you can actually see you got 1 quart, 2 quart, 3 quart. Putting too much in is just as bad as not putting enough. You always spill a little, no matter how hard you try. Alright, we're just about 3.5. And like I said, we don't want to overfill it. So let's put this on. You remember that filter, we weren't able to put any in the filter as well. I know a lot of people like to put some in the filter, but turning it sideways, I didn't want to do that. It would have just made more of a mess. So now what we'll do is we'll start it up for a few seconds. That'll pump, fill up the filter, and then we can check the oil level and see how it looks. I remember we released the fuel pressure, so got to refill it with fuel. This one doesn't have a prime like the other units where you push it to one side until the light comes on and then start it. Alright, no leaks in the fuel line. Alright, we'll let that sit for a minute and then we'll check the oil level. It's about, we had to add about a half a quart more. When the oil's new, it's so hard to see it. I'm just above the add line, but I'm still not in the middle of the hash mark, so we're going to add a little more. I know the camera won't pick it up, so I'm not even bother show you the dipstick. All right, now we'll run it for a couple minutes, and we'll give it a final check. All right, well, she is purring like a kitten. Barely even shaking, just a little bit of vibration. So I think that's a success. I have to find that air filter. I know I bought one, I just don't know where I put it. Alright guys, well, that's it for the generator. I'll wipe it down, clean up this mess, and we'll probably move on to the coach's oil change.